What's up, YouTube? Okay, we had a little bit of a change of plans. The last video, I'm pretty sure I was saying we're gonna continue on putting the motor together. That didn't really work out. You will see what happened whenever I make that next video. Hopefully it should be the video that comes after this. I ran into a couple issues while putting the motor together. Then I shifted into trying to get the motor painted. I ran into some issues with that. Then trying to put the motor into the car, which is what this video is going to be about. Sorry we had to kind of change plans, but that's how it goes when you're building a car. Things pop up, things break, things don't fit, so you have to kind of keep shuffling around. It does make it hard to do the videos because I have a plan for a video. When I'm recording clips explaining what's happening, it's with that plan in mind. When that doesn't work out, then it starts getting real jumbled as to what the heck is happening and what's going on. So sorry about having to move on to a different part, but we'll come right back to the motor soon. Parts are either already here to fix all those issues or they're on their way, so no big deal on that. So for now, let's get back into this video where we're trying to get the motor into the car for the first time with an oil pan on it. So in the meantime, I'm going to move the car down off the lift, outside, and then back in underneath the lift so I could try to get the engine into the car with the oil pan. I've never actually put the motor in the car with the oil pan, so I want to see how it fits. So because it's nice out today, figure I could have the car hanging out outside. That's what we're gonna do. Let's give that a shot. Okay, here we are underneath the car. You can see the engine sitting in there, looking pretty nice. But I don't know how well you'll be able to see. There is a little bit of a gap on this back brace. That's actually good because I assumed I was gonna have to cut that brace, and I am going to have to cut that brace. But you'll also see that the engine is not sitting on the mounts. So if it's not sitting on the mounts and it's not touching that brace, where is it touching? Right there. So the front of the sump is smashing into the cross member, the main cross member. This pan is a C6 Corvette pan, which fits dimensionally better than an F-body pan. The F-body pan is deeper back here, but this sump stops probably about here. It's not anywhere near as long. I didn't think it was going to be an issue, but clearly it is. The other smaller problem, if you could see, is it's actually sitting on the rack, but the motor's got to tilt backwards. So I think when it tilts, it'll come off of that. Everywhere else you can see it's got plenty of clearance. It's just really that spot right there. So my plan is to cut this actually here and here, and then across here, and I'll replate it back in, but I'm gonna see if I could cut it, and then it'll give me enough room to swing the motor down. I'm also gonna have to cut this rear brace. Like I said, I knew I was gonna have to do that, but I wanted to get it in the car and see what it looked like. So that's the plan. We're going to get this thing down and outside, and then get the engine pulled out and start cutting. All right, we're back. It's time for an update. As you can see, this has been notched now up here. However, the engine, or the oil pan I should say, is still sitting on top of it. I'm pretty sure that the motor is leaning back way more than it should, but we'll get back to that. This is cut, not as good as I would have liked to on this side, but it does seem like it clears. Right now it looks like it's touching, but again, the engine's leaning back more than it should. When I jacked up the back of the motor even just a little, it comes right off of there. And then, really hard to see, but there is actually at least a very small gap between the rack and the front of the pan. Not as much as I may have wanted, but it seems like it should work. So now what we're gonna do, put the transmission on. I don't really want to do this, but what I'm thinking is I could put the transmission on, and then I'll get the back of the motor up, at least close to where it should be once it's on the trans mount. Then I'm going to totally loosen both mounts. I don't know how well you could see, but this is actually not touching the block there, which I think is just to do with a little bit of adjustment or slop or whatever you want to call it in the mounts. This one's got both on. It looks like I'd be able to get all four on. So I think it's just a little bit of slop in the mounts. So I'm gonna get the transmission on, lift the back of the motor up close to where it should be, lift the front of the motor with a jack, and then loosen up all the bolts on the mounts, get everything kind of started, get everything set back in place, and then tighten it all up and see if that works. So let's set you guys up with another time lapse and get back to work. Okay, we're back underneath the car, and my C6 oil pan experiment seems to be a failure. You can see up here I cut the cross member out, K-member, cross member, whatever you guys want to call it. It's still hitting. I probably would need to take out another maybe a ½ inch, but I don't really want to do that because I'm going to have to go all the way out to the outside probably, and you know, it doesn't leave a whole lot of meat there. So I'm not really thrilled with that. It's still not sitting on the mounts, as you can see. And it's really close to this rear brace, but I think that's because it needs to tilt. It's hard to say exactly. You know, this mount actually looks pretty good. It's pretty much right on it, but that other side won't go on. And then actually back here, I have a bolt on either side of this cross member for the trans, but this one, I really just kind of, I really pulled it forward and it's putting a lot of tension on this bushing back here. If this was actually all solid, it would have been probably about 1 inch off. So now I get to take all this back out and try again. I've already got parts coming. I'm gonna order up a new pan. I ordered up a windage tray that will fit the new pan, and a couple other things. So hopefully it doesn't delay me too much. Let's get back into this and start ripping this thing apart again. Well, that's going to do it for this one. Like I said, everything is either already here or on its way to fix all these little problems that I've been having with getting the motor together, and obviously the oil pan and getting that into the car. I think for now, I'm going to weld the piece back into the K-member. I think it's going to be plenty strong just welded, but if I change my mind later, it's pretty easy to change that out with the car up on the lift, so no big deal there. But for now, we're going to try to get the motor together in the next video. My main thing is to try and get the engine bay 100%, and then get the engine and transmission 100% and back into the car, so that I could move on with, you know, plumbing and finishing out the turbo kit and all that good stuff. So that's what we're going to be trying to do in the next few videos here. But that's going to do it for this one. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll see you on the next one.